3 points per centimeter here. There is a center structure that we don't have here because it's really big and we couldn't really set it up here. But that has another goal on top of it. It's the backward player right next to that ring. And that's where 6 points per centimeter can score in there. We can actually score in all the goals. That is raised on top of this, so that's straight up.
Alright, so at the beginning of each match, there's a 30-second autonomous period. This is where we program the robot beforehand, and we created the program before to do a specific task, such as bring one of these tubes into a specific zone, and that's worth a certain amount of points that we can help win a match.
Alright, so here you
Alright, Kevin, you want to talk about the program?
Yeah.
Alright, so what it just did is we have a program that is pre-programmed under our controllers that actually lifts it up, drops the arm, and opens the servo. That way we have less buttons to control during a match. So that was just a little simple program that we already have installed.
Talk about sports. Okay. Why don't you, Alex, can you talk about how we got?
Alright. So there's qualifiers all around the area for the community. And that's where you first start, that's where you first enter at tournaments. This year they actually introduced something new called League Play, which is a series of matches just to like kind of get warmed up, I guess, for the actual tournament. We went 15-0 during League Play. So we did fantastic. We went to one of our local qualifiers, and we actually we won the Inspire Award. The Inspire Award is the highest award that is possible to get in FGC. And it shows kind of like a team that represents. We got the Inspire Award, and that was really big for us. That's called advance to the state. State we did exceptionally well, so we made it to the finals, and we lost in the finals. Now, it didn't end there though. The teams that were ahead of us actually double and triple qualified, so that means that the teams over that move up, we happen to be one of those teams. So we actually went on to Super Regionals. Super Regionals is the Midwest region of all the robotics teams that have advanced. It was actually in Iowa, so we went out to Iowa to compete there. And this is our second year doing this, and we didn't even make it to state last time. So we did really good there. We came right about the middle of the pack. So that was great for us. It was a great experience.
Alright, so this year one of the awards we got was the Design Award. We actually got that at our League Play event. And so that is basically saying that we have a clean design that looks really good and is really strong and reliable. So if you look at this robot, it's actually called Tetrix is what it's made out of. Here, we'll pick it up. So it's actually a bunch of little pieces of aluminum that has holes everywhere. It's really unique. There's also axles and stuff that are really weak. So if you look on this robot, we actually have a bunch of these things called 80/20s, which is really, really strong aluminum. Same material, but it's built a lot different. And so we use that, and then we tap it into other pieces, and that keeps it really strong and reliable.
So for our community events for our robotics team, all teams actually have outreach to reach out to their community. So we decided to classify them into two categories, sending and receiving signals. So and those include like talking to other teams, going to companies, and even like driving a robot in a parade. So one of our events that we went to called Skyler. That's where we got our materials for the actual. And then we also got with our team so that they could take over the parts too. So when we got the parts, there was also accessories that we looked at, and we ordered a couple from online. And we also figured out that you can get a discount on it, and we just figured that out. So, save a lot. Also, for one of our parades, like our outreach events, we went to a parade in Northbrook, and we were doing a robot along the side of the float as well. And we were just like, we had a flag at the top of it, and it was waving, and kids are high-fiving it, and it was really cool. And yeah, and then also we were driving it almost the whole time, so almost a motor burnt out.
And the control.
So I know you have a lot of important things to do today, but just to close, one thing that they're too humble to say is that when you make it all the way to super regionals, you're in a pretty elite class. There's only 400 teams in the world out of 4,500 that make that. So if you calculate everything out to the place that they came in, they're in the top 3.5% of all teams in the world. Just to close, you talked about outreach events, and really one thing that we're trying to instill in this team is, what you see here is you see kids that are in 8th grade that are presenting at a pretty high level, pretty confident. If you saw these kids present just 2 years ago when they were in first Lego League, they were a little shy and reserved, and they've learned a lot along the way. And as those stats say, we can leave some of those stats behind for you, but as those stats say, you can see the development that we have already. And the goal that we have for the team is that in 4 years when this journey is over for this team, we're hoping to have a sustainable program in the community, because the results that I see just with these kids, we want to be able to share that and have that with the other kids in the community. So, yes.
How can we support your team, so we can do that and expand it, because this is really cool.
There's really 2 ways to support, and you see how happy they are. Their dream this year, one of the things that they keep talking about is wanting to start another team, because they want to mentor other teams into this. But really the best way, there's really 2 ways to support, and one is through resource time. There's a lot of different skill sets that come with this: software skill sets, fabrication skill sets, project management skill sets. Communication skill sets. One of the things that we're going to plan to put the kids through this year is a Toastmasters Club.
The strong foundation that these young men have received both in their home and from their teachers their entire time at Woodland. So Steve and I look forward to meeting with our director, our assistant for curriculum and instruction, and seeing how we can expand here in the district. So will you please join me and get these amazing young men one more round of applause.